Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Astrology Victoria, today with your host, Tatiana, and we will be discussing today the energies and the astro weather for the week of Monday, May 9th until Sunday, the 14th. So this week, what's going on? If you haven't watched my previous videos where we're telling the story, the saga of the month, please go watch because there's always overlap. And I will still mention what's going on if you have not been able to watch these videos. So you have a little bit of an overview of what's been going on. So let's look at what the stars are doing. And slide. There it is. So here we are. All right. Let's get on with the show. We have the dominant energy is still in Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, where lots of planets are still being there. So as more planets ingress into Aries, we'll see more of this Aries energy of the bold, the go time, the let's do it. We have energy for movement, forward movement, initiation, all the while having this more fixed energy of the Taurus, which wants us to be looking for some sort of stability, comfort, long-lasting something with this Taurus energy, wanting to slow down, take one step at a time, lots of self-love, the body, and at the same time, while we still have some planets in Pisces, we have this energy of flow, trust that there is a process to all the madness in the world and the madness in our lives. So there could be this need for trusting the process and allowing. Pisces is all about allowing, because things may seem still like chaotic or not in order. So we might have ideas of what things are coming, what's new, how to move forward in order to create some stability with the Taurus energy, all the while needing to trust that there is a process beyond our comprehension. So these are the main energies. And also we are going to have Mercury retrograding starting this week. And once Mercury retrogrades, and I know everybody's like, oh, Mercury retrograde, things are good and broken and communications and travel. Like, it's more than that. It's really about a process of introspection, so we can review decisions and the way we think about things. So moving forward, things are more clear. That's the whole point of this Mercury retrograde. So let's look at some of the main aspects this time around. So May 9th, and this is actually today, I'm recording this really on top of the week because I've had so much to do this week, but I'm still here with you to give you some insight. So we do have a little bit like carryover of some sextiles, like we have the Sun sextiling Mars, which could give us this boost of energy for what we want to create. The Mars energy gives us some kind of boost or desire to act. And as we move into whatever it is that we're trying to move into, this will definitely be helpful, in the way we want to move forward. It gives some kind of drive, willfulness. There's this like, okay, let's do this. Let's get this done. And even though we know that Mars in Pisces moves a little bit here, there, and there, it's not very linear and might not be very straightforward. As Mars is still in Pisces, we might feel that our actions are a little bit random. And we do need to trust that there is a process to this random process of action, like doing a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. And I talked about in other videos about looking for where your Pisces house is right now, what area of life this is touching for you, that is wanting to bring some kind of trust in the divine, that is wanting to surrender or even have some closure of some sorts, that trusting that there is something coming new, a new cycle that's entirely different, with the Aries energy pushing. And also the cycle that it's kind of ending in the house where you have your Pisces. It's helping you inform whatever is being shifted and changed in your Taurus area of life, where we have Uranus still very active, trying to shift things around for you to have better access to resources, to have more stability in this life, especially because we're going to have Saturn this week starting to square the sun, where things might feel like we need to get our structures in place and it might feel uncomfortable. And we do have also this sextile of Jupiter to Pluto. And we've been talking about this for a little bit, because this sextile is a carryover and it will be lasting for a while. And this helps us see into the bigger, darker places of ourselves with a sense of optimism as well. Like if we look into the shadows, or if we have to uncover something, there's a lot of energy. It magnifies the energy of Pluto in a good way. It's almost like having a boost of, okay, I'm going to go and look at what no longer serves, so we can actually transform something in a positive way. These are very positive aspects for change, for effecting change and really releasing and removing things that are really no longer working, systems that are no longer working. And we've been talking about Pluto in Capricorn, in those last degrees of Capricorn, and Pluto is retrograding. So we are looking over again at all the systems, all the power structures, power dynamics, how we do all the Capricorn themes of getting what we want, or getting to the top, or to our goals, and reviewing how we have attached power to it, and how these systems of power may be actually already really collapsing. And this is kind of the last passage of that Pluto. Once it moves into Aquarius, this will be done. So whatever we are releasing, it's really important at this moment in time to be proactive with it. This is why these little sextiles here kind of go like, hey, look at this, work with this energy of, okay, I still need to look at power dynamics. I still need to look at where things are maybe not being, where I'm using, how we are using our power, and what are we attaching to still. And what kind of structures, as we're building new structures here with Saturn, new structures, societal structures in our lives. And this is always this, I see this like shedding of the skin of the snake at the same time as the new skin is forming. So this is kind of that process. It's not like something dies and then something's born. It's like, well, the skin is already being born, but the shedding is happening at the same time. So navigating these two processes of transition can be very challenging. However, if you think of the snake doesn't necessarily, well, I don't know, I'll have to ask the snake, but like, oh my gosh, I'm losing my skin, what a terrible thing, I need to let go of this, and I'm creating new cells. I think just the snake just does it. It's a natural process. So if you're going through a natural process of transformation in your life at this moment in time, allow that transformation to happen and trust. Again, we have a lot of Pisces, which asks us to please trust that there is some good in this. Even though we might not see it. In Pisces, everything can be confusing. It's like blurry, confusing. It could be inspirational and inspired by something, but still confusing. And I do think that we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel and getting the energy to act, because with Mars in Pisces, like I said, still feels like the energy is, it's like moving in water. So it's like literally like swimming. And when you're swimming, it's not like a straight line, or even if it's a straight line, it's not quite, it could be, it could be swayed by the current if you're in a current. And I would like to imagine that we are in a current, and this current is pushing us, and we are swimming in this current, kind of not knowing really exactly where, but wherever we're going, it's going. This is that sense of that Mars in Pisces with the sun, and in at the same time having this transformational energy to move forward. I think this month is big month of, okay, finally, are we done with this or that, whatever it is, and are we finally like shedding the rest of the skin? So the next slide is our Mercury retrograde in Gemini. And well, excuse me for all these lines. We'll just focus a little bit on the retrograde motion of this Mercury, where it entered Gemini and it's going to be moving back into Taurus. And it is a review process. Mercury has also it has sextiled Venus for a while, allowing us to have a little bit more of social interactions, maybe meeting with people, somehow maybe having ideas, discussing ideas with friends, people. It's a very sociable, nice, maybe writing has been in our minds, or communicating something, getting ideas. Mercury in Gemini is very, very vivid, it's active, it has probably many ideas, like so many, this and that over there, and how about I test this and I test that. And as it goes into its retrograde motion, everything we're testing, writing, communicating, we might need to like stop and see, okay, are the things we've been thinking of and putting in place, are they done correctly? This is always the asks of a Mercury retrograde, is of all that we've been doing in the past couple months, is all that we've been doing like what we want? Is it well structured? Is it exactly what we truly think we want to manifest? That's part of that Mercury retrograde motion, is reviewing. And that's why we say, if you're like making contracts or signing papers or anything of that kind, well, during a Mercury retrograde, what could happen is that we miss details. Especially with the Gemini, there might be a lot of ideas and thoughts that it's scattered energy. So we might miss on an important details, things to look at. So it's important that if you're doing anything that requires like some serious analyzing, that you don't take it lightly. With Mercury retrograde, is really go over it a few times because that's when we miss details, and then later we need to go back and we didn't do this properly, we need to do this again, rewrite this, or make an agreement that's different, or have a different kind of conversation around something, or we had something in place and we doubted and now we want to change it. So this might be kind of a flippy floppy time of going back and forth. And ideally, just review things, put them in paper, do your, go back to the writing board and make sure that what's going to move forward is exactly what you want and not kind of wishy-washy, especially with a scattered energy where everything's so excitingly possible. That's like one way of seeing it. And yes, you see, like this is the energy of Gemini, which we will be entering soon as the sun will move into Gemini pretty soon. We will have more of that, like, woohoo, there's a lot to do. It's everywhere, it's all over the place. Like this, everything's all over the place. And it's in the mind. This is not necessarily grounded, it's like it's in the mind, it's ideas, it's plans, but it's not necessarily very grounded. In Taurus, we're seeing more of a, okay, what are we manifesting? We slow down, we're taking our time to make these shifts, in the physical world. And then once those shifts are made, Mercury kicks in with lots of ideas. All right, let's see what's next. So Sun square Saturn. So Sun begins squaring Saturn a little bit before May 13th. So it's going to be starting its square, but it will start perfecting the square around May 13th. So by the middle of the week, you might still start feeling, again, this maybe limitations to your self-expression, and there's difficulty with what wants to move forward, or there's an ask of Saturn to create these structures and be very it might feel also like it's slow, like it's not moving. Like whenever we have the Sun and Saturn, it feels like what we want to do, express in the world, has some difficulties, blockages. So around this time, don't despair if it feels like all your plans and aspirations are kind of slowed down. There's other things to think about, details that we might have missed. Again, we're having Mercury retrograding at the same time. So, okay, how are we doing this? And in my own personal life, I am like literally moving in 2 weeks, and this is like packing time. It's like, okay, we're moving somewhere, but there needs to be this organization around how to pack, what to sell, what to get rid of, organizing things all over the place, a little bit of chaos and mess, so that the move can go smoothly. And that is in my personal case. What is your personal case? I would like to hear what's going on in your life that is requiring some adjustments, and still like it feels like it's moving forward, but it's kind of difficult because the Sun and the North Node are also kind of together here. And this is always this movement forward, move forward into some more stability, into the Taurus themes, move forward. And Saturn squaring, it's like, yes, but make it right. It's this, are you doing things because you want to do it the way it works for you within the collective, which is this Aquarius? It's like social responsibility at the same time as it is like your personal desire within this world to fit in the world. So it's like, how do I accommodate me and everything else? That's that kind of tension. And at the same time, it wants to pull us forward. So there is forward movement with a little bit of discomfort. Again, the peeling of the skin, it's uncomfortable. It just has to be dealt with. And you might feel limitations, maybe from authorities, or, there's the paperwork of some sort, or you have to sign certain things and it didn't work out, and there's some kind of delay. So everything you kind of want to move forward seems to be like, okay, get it done properly. And, so what is it for you? What area of life is your Saturn in? What house is your Aquarius house? So you can see for the previous, at least the previous year moving into next year, what area of your life is wanting to gain some maturity, social responsibility, and stability, so that the Taurus area of your life actually brings you some sense of safety, some sense of being in the world in a way where you can get your own resources and be resourceful. And this tension it's very uncomfortable. And this is why these processes of moving forward to more sustainable ways of being might feel like extremely unstable, especially because Uranus is still in Taurus, kind of changing all the ways we get our resources. And again, I go back to my case and what's happening with my own life. It's like I'm moving to a farm. So I'm going to have to literally learn how to grow food and farm and be in community with people. And that's my case. That's how I will get my resources, and being more independent as well. I'm trying to be like more off-grid, with like some solar energy and minimizing my life so I can have more stability and more resourcefulness. This is my own personal journey, but what is yours? I'm really curious because this really applies to me, like 100%. So I can tell you that. And then we are gonna have this conjunction of Mars and Neptune in Pisces. So all the while this is happening, we're starting to have this conjunction happen. And when Mars, not only Mars is in Pisces, now it conjuncts Neptune. So there are multiple possibilities around this. Again, is this like chaotic lack of direction? Such confusion around where am I moving towards? Where's the north? It's there, it's here, it's back there. It can feel like our actions are also sometimes pointless, or we don't even know why we're doing something, but we're just kind of doing it anyways. So at its best, this Mars Neptune wants us to be extremely compassionate, defend maybe others, defend spiritual values that you actually have that are very dear to your heart. It could be also reaching beyond, going for something beyond yourself, having like a quest that is beyond your little life. It's a spiritual quest with Mars and Neptune. It's Mars, the god of war, Mars, our action, Mars, our will and desire, and our force to move. With Neptune, the one that dissolves everything and makes us go to a place where, at least in the psyche, nothing is really tangible. So it's having the capacity also to go there and to trust that there is a quest that is divine. That's its best expression, I would say, that there is something, there is a mission that you are here for on this earth right now. And that by trusting that divine impulse, because Mars gives us impulse, even if it's not a straight line, you will anyway end up at the right spot. And it might be some twists and turns as well. And this Mars-Neptune conjunction is sextiling the sun that we just talked about. So as much as this square, this red line of the sun to Saturn with the North Node feels uncomfortable, this sextile of the Jupiter-Neptune is almost saying trust and keep moving, even though it may seem completely chaotic. Keep moving, keep moving. Keep doing it. Keep swimming. Keep swimming, like Dory in Nemo. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I don't know why I'm saying this, but that's a little bit what it is. It's, you don't know where you're going, or you might know where you're going, but it might feel confusing. And the energy will start shifting a little bit, a lot, I would say, once Jupiter ingresses into Aries, because the energy of Jupiter has been in this Piscean mode, expanding our consciousness, expanding our reach of our dreams, expanding the capacity to see beyond, even though we're not materializing much yet. Once it goes into Aries, it will expand our sense of initiative, of courage. It's almost like we have unbound optimism to achieve all these new beginnings. It's like, yay, now we're in this new beginnings and let's go. And there's energy for it. There's resourcefulness and there's optimism. That's what Jupiter brings. And wherever Jupiter is in your chart, again, the Aries energy with Jupiter, wherever your Aries house is, that area of life might feel like it's getting a boost of optimism, joy, expansion. And because we have Venus in Aries, even though Venus and Chiron are together at this moment in time, there could be some pain points, especially and more particularly if you have any planets around the 14th degrees of the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer. So if you have anything around those degrees, while Venus and Chiron are conjunct, it might bring up something regarding relationships, regarding self-worth, the sense of what you're not seeing about yourself, or maybe even having issues with your self-image, or even with the capacity of going for what you want to achieve, having even the courage to do so. So there might be some, can I actually do this? Especially because once Mars moves into Aries, there's going to be so much energy to actually move and do stuff and get the thing done, even though at this moment in time, it might feel like, do I really want this? Can I actually really do this? A little bit, because Venus is, it's about pleasure and about relationship, self-worth. And Venus wants what it wants when it wants it, when it's in Aries. I want this, I want it now. So, but when there's Chiron in the mix, there might be this like, if I actually get what I want, will I get hurt? A little bit. That's the energy, at least, of this archetype. And it will pass. It's not like it's forever, but it might bring this up in you. Every time we have planets transiting, and if it transits anything in our chart, especially through squares, that's why we talk about this cardinal cross here. Squares or oppositions, it might feel like something's brought up to your awareness, so it can be moved through. And as you move through it, then you can move into the next phase. Everything in our chart is always moving like a clock to move us into the next phase of our evolution. This is how it works. And transits are just there to activate certain things in each one of us. And because we all have different birth charts, and if you don't have your birth chart already done and you want a birth chart reading, you can always book a reading with me, and I can help you with that and know what's going on in your life. So you can just look in the links in the description box below. So the Jupiter ingress in Aries is going to bring a lot of energy and optimism and the capacity to actually have the energy to go. This is go time. And once Mars gets into Aries, that's actually go time. Rocket fuel, go. So this is a little bit what's going on this week. So we're still in the midst of this shedding of skin transitional period with blockages, maybe difficulties, reviewing stuff, taking it slowly. And the best thing I can tell you is one step at a time. No matter how confusing it might look, stay very present. Open yourself up to receiving these energies of Pisces, still opening yourself up to move from a place of heart, compassion, and moved by something bigger than your own little desires. And you'll see that the divine, when you allow divine will to move you instead of you moving you, everything just flows. Everything will flow. If you stay in the rigidity of the difficulties, then you might suffer the process. And releasing whatever needs to be released, let it go. It will go where it needs to go. Trust the energy. Trust it. Trust life. Trust it. And you'll see how much more exciting the new beginnings will be. So with this, I am going to let you be for the rest of the week. I hope you can tell me how this whole month has been for you, and what are the new things you're planning? What's your new beginnings all about? If there's anything new, it can be new things in relationships, new things with the job, new things with home, new things with maybe family. So what's new? What is coming that is new, and what are you leaving behind? I would be very curious to read your comments. And again, you can join us at Astrology Victoria. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Meetup, we're everywhere. So please feel free to share, like, subscribe, tap bell, and all the YouTube stuff so we can be found and this information can be shared. And please also let me know your feedback on these videos. I always enjoy knowing how I can improve the quality of the videos, the quality of the information. And if there's any feedback you have, I'll definitely try to incorporate it in my videos. So thank you very much. Have a blessed week. Bye.